Well, it looks like when I was about 30 years old, I did this book in 1983. It's Dr. Brinkley, A Man and His Calling, by Steampunk Mark Plimsoll, I guess. And this has been updated into the new version. This is Dr. Brinkley, All True, A Man and His Calling. By Mark Plimsoll. Got a nice back cover, real colorful. And this is a review of the 1983 edition. This is from the School of Public Health and Medicine at Loma Linda University. Professor William Jarvis, PhD, Professor of Public Health and Preventive Medicine. He said, "I have been studying quackery and related fields for more than 30 years. Your illustrated book is one of the best examples of anti-quackery education that I have seen." That's right, look at that. This is the annotated version of it. It has much more detail about this fabulous story of the world's richest quack doctor putting goat glands to rejuvenate old men, and probably basically a serial killer with the Earth's, this planet's most powerful radio station, 1,000,000 watts of effective power. Why they'd turn that humdinger on and birds would drop out of the sky. Headlights would glow. You could hear it in loose fillings and loose fence wires. Radio. Look for it wherever books are sold. Dr. Brinkley, A Man and His Calling, by Mark Plimsoll. It appears that in 1975, after a couple semesters of Spanish, I took off hitchhiking through the United States from Michigan to the border of Texas. Hitchhiked, took buses and trains through Mexico to Guatemala, where I got involved in an earthquake that killed 22,000 people, but got it in 6 months, got a chance to turn around and look back at the United States from another point of view. This book comes in at 360-some pages. It's got a bibliography, a history of Guatemala in here, and it has like no passive voice. It was written with no passive voice except in dialogue, because you can't get rid of the passive voice in dialogue or it doesn't sound like dialogue no more. This is a really good read. It got the Reviewer Choice Award, and my uncle, who was a very well-traveled, wealthy man, thought it was the best book he'd ever read, and he's a pretty well-read guy. I believe him. He was pretty sincere. I asked his daughters about it, and they said, yep, he was my #1 fan. Smart guy. Now this book is about another creative nonfiction classic about joining a group of philanthropists taking used computers and digital equipment to the medical establishment of Havana, Cuba. And they did that. They did a caravan all across the United States, ended up in San Diego, where I was living, and then we were going to cross the border. What we didn't know, we all paid like $1,000 for this film traffic mission, is that they would actually plan to make a confrontation with the U.S. government. So they announced to everybody that they were crossing the border with 3 trucks full of used computers to go to Havana. So there's a big border skirmish there, and a big football game, and trying to ram through a line of I guess customs agents or something. I don't know. Riot police basically playing football with them. Of course, we lost, and they took prisoners. We decided to do a hunger strike, and some of us didn't like that. I was one of the only bilingual people, except for the managers of this trip. And nobody seemed to believe me. They thought I was a CIA agent. I was trying to cause foment. So they flew some of us into Havana, and this is the story of me escaping my government chaperones and trying to find books by Mario Vargas Llosa as a test of free speech in Cuba. It's a pretty funny read, and I had a shortwave radio that could actually record onto cassette, so I've got a lot of the shortwave radio transmissions transcribed into this book. It comes in at about 131 pages. Havana Ball. Creative nonfiction memoir of a participant in an international escapade that subverted American altruism with a hidden agenda. Oh yeah. I wish I could remember it, but thank God I wrote it all down. Now, this book is Felicia and the Twins. This is one of 3 in a series of 3 books called The Innocent Mermaid. Innocent Mermaid. There we go. This is an illustrated novel. Is that what it says? Illustrated novel, story and artwork by Steampunk Mark Plimsoll. And there's a brief view of it here. It's got illustrations of mermaids in here. It's a tale about when a mere minnow, young mermaid Amber Luna, finds the orphan Felicia in the wild rice of the Innocent River. That's where mermaids school before returning to their oceanic city of Coral Arches, excuse me. The two merm girls grow up to become the bestest friends ever while learning Earth's history with the aid of their earrings, which connect them to all known knowledge. Kind of like a smartphone. Anyhow, so they witness the kidnapping of some of their friends, these superstar celebrity vocalists, the twins. They discover aspects of reality which the earrings and their elders hide from them. There's my logo, look, see it? SMP there. It looks kind of like a bicycle, doesn't it? It's pretty steampunk. So, this is book 1. And here is book 2 of The Innocent Mermaid, with a full color interior. It says, illustrated novel, story and artwork by Steampunk Mark Plimsoll. And book 2, let's see, Chuck describes book 1, but then Felicia had a fight with Amber and left, never to return. And it was to find Felicia, but her earrings, which connect to all known knowledge, don't help. So Amber travels overland to the capital of Terralandia, a city on a cold northern fjords island. But to stay, she must lose her fins, scales, and interfinger webbing, and pledge allegiance to the Prime Minister of Terralandia. There's some full color illustrations there inside. And this actually has an interesting speech that some of the more erudite people will recognize, especially if they follow presidential politics. And this is book 3. I guess I wrote this as the book 3 of the 3 books in the Innocent Mermaid series. Lots of drawings in here again, full color interior, once in a while. And Amber now discovers the working girls yearn for their oceanic cities of coral. They're in Terralandia, remember, they lost their fins and their 2 legs. They want to return to their oceanic cities of coral, a sustainable global community dedicated to the common good, whatever that is. But how can they escape the cold lake and the Terramaids who intend to eradicate all the evil oceanic mermaids? Well, you'll just have to read it and find out. All 3 of these books have been compiled into one book. The Innocent Mermaid. Should be able to find this, I think, wherever books are sold. Sure, it's in print, and you can find an ebook of it out there. Well, that's about it. Let's do some CD-ROMs. Now this is Sell You Harm, an audiobook. This is 23 half-hour podcasts. Kind of like an audiobook, or more like a radio drama. It has like sound effects and songs in here. There's songs in here. And yeah, there's a list of 23 podcasts. Read that or not? This is a collector's item. Very few of these are made. And the CD company stopped producing these kind of MP3 podcast type CDs, but you can find it online for free. This is a kind of Creative Commons kind of, I think, opened. Anyhow, it's free. It's on the internet. It's hard to find, but if you search it, Google can find it, right? Google can find anything. So that's out there. And it's got this great graph. Look at that on the back there. Look at that. That's an apple with a vampire's bite out of it. Yeah, you don't see that every day, do you? You barely see it here. Okay. This is my first CD. Aliens versus Cowboys. This is a song cycle where older men look for brides in the third world. You know, aliens versus cowboys. They look for brides from the third world, perhaps. A Weird West Pan-Americana ear drama. So this seems to be 15 songs called Already Hot, Girls Like You, Hard as Diamonds, About You, Scared, Soft Rain, Fool Number 2, Greener Pastures, Poppy, How Are You Hawaii, Last Time I Cried. That's a true story, actually. What a dream. You wake up just bawling your head off. Why would that happen? Little Pill, Amor que yo tiré, Trailer Hitched, and Garden Round Our Home. There is the Weird West Pan-Americana ear movie by Steampunk Mark Plimsoll. See you later.